Okay. So, what do you do for work, and what have you learned from the profession you are in?
Okay, I work for the city of Naperville. I work in city dispatch, so I deal with like non-emergency police and utilities. And what have I learned? Well, I've been doing it for 20 years, almost 20 years, and I think I've gotten really good at it in the past 10 years. The first 10 years, I think I was kind of impatient with people, and sometimes I thought they asked dumb questions, and sometimes I thought that they were making a big deal out about things. But as I've gotten older, I think I've developed some compassion towards people while I've been working there. So I think I've learned to just, and it's helped me in my life. I think I've learned to listen to understand what people were saying instead of just listening to find fault in what they were saying.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Um, is there anything others should know based on what you have learned in your life or what you have learned in work?
Oh, yes. I think everybody should do that. I think everybody should listen to understand and should try to think about where somebody is. I think I've learned in the past few years, as I'm getting older, I'm really starting. Maybe it's because before I had younger children and I was always so busy, and now that I'm older, I have time to really think about things. And I wish that I knew this before then, but I think everybody, if they realized the importance of what they do to one person, if they realized that, the world would be a much better place. Because I can be in a really bad mood because of something that happened to me on my way to work, and maybe somebody calls because their electricity's been turned off, and if I'm not willing to help them to find a way to get it turned back on, to how to speak to finance or what I can do to help them out, I can make their day so horrible. And why would I want to do that? I don't even know them.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to do that? And if I have the opportunity to make it a better day for them, then who knows? And
Mm-hmm.
who knows what would happen if I made it a worse day for them? Who knows what they could do, what they would, want to do to follow through? And if I made it a better day for them, who knows what they might do?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we really have a responsibility.
Yes. That makes sense. Okay. So, do you plan on retiring, and if you do, when, and how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm 64. I plan on working. I could retire by the time I'm 66. I'll have 20 years where I'm working. So I could retire then with really great benefits. But my husband's a little younger than me, so he's going to keep working for another 3 years. So I think I'm going to stay for another 3 more years. For another 3 years, I work the midnight shift, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really very slow a lot of times. So I have the opportunity to. I'm a fiber artist, and so they want me to stay awake overnight, so they let me bring in my art and work on that overnight. So I'm sitting there and I can work on my art all night. I would love to do that for another 3 or 4
That
years.
sounds like a good time.
It is really nice. It's really nice. Plus all the coffee I can drink. It's wonderful. And plus I have a Fitbit and I even do my steps. I even
Oh,
do my steps every hour. I get up and walk a
oh,
thousand
awesome.
steps. Yes. So.
Okay,
So
so you feel pretty good.
yeah, I think I'm going to keep working for a while, and then when I do retire, my plan is to continue to stay really busy. I want to do my art full time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll never stop working. It's just I'll be
Yeah,
doing something that I just
something different.
absolutely
Yeah,
love. Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so what is your religion, and can you tell me a little bit about your religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs?
Well, I'm a Buddhist. I've been a Buddhist for about 35 years now, and I the, the basis of our religion is everything is based on cause and effect, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. It kind of goes along with what I was saying before that I really I have the opportunity every time I have an interaction with somebody to either make it a better day for them
Mm-hmm.
or to help them out. And if I really believe in cause and effect, then I have to believe that if I make a bad cause, even if nobody sees it,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a bad cause. It's still put out there into the universe. So I try not to make a bad cause. And if I think I've made a bad cause, like if I'm just too cold to put my cart away in the cart thing at the grocery store, I'll start walking back to my car and I'll think, I better go and put the cart away.
Yeah.
I try to do everything right. I try to do everything right. And sometimes I'm not in the mood to do it, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I fail. Then I try to do it again. But that's our basic belief, is everything is cause and effect. And we do, we chant. And we also believe that basically, I guess the main belief in Buddhism is that anything that happens to us, good or bad, can be used as an impetus for growth. So if it's something that's great that happened, we can learn from that. If it's something bad that happens to us, we can learn from that, and we can come out better on the other end because we went through it. So.
Perfect. So the next question is, what is your philosophy on life? Or is it kind of just the same thing?
I kind of said it like
Kind of the
3
same.
times. I think, yeah, my philosophy on life is, to be responsible for myself, and be responsible for myself. I think that's and that I can do anything that I set my mind to. My husband and I have gone through. We have 2 children, and we've gone through so many things in our time that we've been married. It's been 35 years, and we've been through so many things, and every single time we can solve it. We can solve it. So we don't have to wait for something to happen from the outside. We can actively work to solve any problem that we have, and we come out better on the other end.
Perfect. Do you believe in an afterlife, and what do you think it will be like?
Well, in Buddhism, we believe in, basically, I guess you'd say, we don't call it this, but we basically believe in reincarnation. Science teaches that everything, nothing ever ends. Everything is eternal. It might take different forms, gas to solid, to gas to liquid to solid, back to liquid, back to gas. We believe that our life is eternal. We believe that we've had past lives. That's why we have likes and desires and things that's kind of what sets what we're born into. And so I'm trying to live my life now. Actually, my husband and I chant that we'll be married in our next life, that we'll meet each other in our next life too. So we're trying to make causes for that, because he's pretty good. So I don't want to, I kind of like to, he's just about perfected. I'd like to reap the rewards of that in my next life. So I do, so it's not that I believe in heaven and hell. I believe in that on earth, heaven and hell on earth right now. And, but I do believe that I will be born into another life and be another person.
Perfect. So the next question is, what are you most thankful for?
I'm most thankful for my health. I'm so happy about my health, and I'm so happy that I love the family that I have. I really love everything about my life, even the bad stuff. I really appreciate it. I'm very grateful for. There's rarely a day that I don't have something to be thankful for, but I can't think of anything specific right now, but I just love most of my life. Most of my life.
I didn't write this down, but I just thought of this right now. Do you think that you had to work for these things, or it was just kind of given to you?
You mean like
you're thankful for like your health?
Oh.
Do you think you're just lucky and have good health, or you work for it?
Well, no. Elmer had a heart attack, and I've had breast cancer, and we were not healthy before. We used to be, both of us, very heavy, and we used to. We did not think that we had I guess we thought that we didn't have any control over what happened, or that we weren't meant to be thin
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But after those two things, it kind of made us really take stock and really decide we wanted to be healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we started running. And now we both run. My husband's going to do, I was going to do a marathon this year.
Oh, wow.
And I've done a half marathon. I've done a marathon by myself, not an organized one, but I ran 26 miles. On my 60th birthday, I ran 26.47 miles.
Oh, my gosh.
On my 60th birthday. And it took me 5 hours and 10 minutes. But I'm very healthy now. And I think that anything that, I was fortunate to be born into a middle-class family.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that we have to work, and a rather healthy family, but I've had to work to keep it healthy.
Okay, perfect. So what is or was the best and worst phase of your life?
The worst phase of my life was, I've had two things that come to mind. When we had our children, both of our boys, they really showed a talent in music. So we were blue collar, so we weren't making enough money to give them lessons,
Mm-hmm.
but we gave them lessons, they were taking lessons. My one son was taking lessons with somebody from the Chicago Symphony, and my other son was taking from another famous flutist in Chicago, and we couldn't really afford it. So my husband and I had to take a paper route overnight in addition to our jobs. That was a really tough time, and I still go past the subdivisions where we delivered the papers, and I still get it was horrible. And so I guess the hardest times for us would be when we were going through financial difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
But and then the other worst time in my life was when I first started. I had worked in a hospital for 26 years, and then I started working on the 911 side, and for 2 years I did that, and I wasn't meant to do. I just could not. I couldn't get fast enough for that. As you know, I've told you stories, and I couldn't get fast enough for that, and that was really tough. But now it's all blended into this wonderful position where I am now.
All right. So, knowing what you know today, what would you change about your life?
I would have started. I would have thought that I deserved. I think I would have realized that I have control over whatever happens to me much more than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just in the past, even though that's the philosophy in Buddhism, I didn't really take that to heart. I was just kind of paying lip service to that. I wasn't really following it. But in the past 10 years, I've realized I can change anything I don't like, and I can get anything I do like. And I think that I would have started that earlier. Like, you're so lucky that you became a Buddhist and that you have the opportunity to know this. You have no idea how lucky you are to know this at this time, that you can do anything you want. Don't wait till you're in your 40s or 50s to realize that. I waited till I was in my 50s to realize that. So now I'm making up for lost time.
Yeah.
But that's what I would change.
Perfect.
So, okay.
So you kind of just wrapped that up. My last question was within the last 10 years of your life, how has your view on life changed?
Oh. Yes, exactly what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can change anything. I can have whatever kind of life I want. And I will have whatever kind of life I want. And that is true happiness. That is, there's other happiness. The other kind of happiness is, in Buddhism, we could call it relative happiness. That's the happiness where you find $15 on the ground or $20 on the ground. That's happiness right then. But things can change. But true happiness is knowing that you have control over your whole entire life. No matter what happens, even if you get sick, you can affect changes. Even if you have an illness that will stay with you, you can affect change around that illness to make it actually work for you. You know, so that's what I would say.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.